Hey everybody, it is Kellen Nitro for Nitromaniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited. Yes, that's right, more on that name change in upcoming videos and such as the month rolls on. And this is my take on NXT Takeover 25, which took place from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Here are my thoughts, my take on what was actually a really solid NXT card, once again. For those who are going to be watching the NXT Weekly show, here are the matches that you will see that were pre-taped at Bridgeport prior to the NXT card unveiling, because they always do a couple of matches, so they have a program on that Wednesday, kind of, you know, two birds in one stone type deal. You'll get to see Keith Lee. He took on Kona Reeves in a singles bout and was successful, and you'll get a awesome women's match between Mia Yim and Bianca Belair, which again you will see as a singles match on this week's NXT. Mia Yim getting the win in that one. Both matches sound phenomenal. I'll be checking those out for sure. I'm sure you will as well. Opening contest, Matt Riddle versus Roderick Strong of the Undisputed Era. This was a high-intensity, great opener. 14:45, Riddle with the Duke gets the win in that one. Both these guys, not much else you could say about them other than this was an amazing opening matchup for the card. It was a high-intensity opener. This was great. This is, like I said, I wouldn't have changed anything about this match at all. I thought that the psychology working on Riddle's back was, well, that's Roderick's thing. He's the Messiah, the backbreaker, and that's what he was doing throughout that match. So, yeah, perfect match. Great way to open the card. We had that ladder match for the vacant NXT Tag Team titles. We had the Undisputed Era team of Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, the former Red Dragon team out on the Indies. Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. Street Profits, Dawkins and Ford. And Forgotten Sons, Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler. That made an observation online that the Forgotten Sons are kind of like Five-Finger Death Punch of NXT. Of pro wrestling in general. You're just expecting a Monster Energy logo somewhere on their tights, I guess. I don't know. They just seem like that type of people. Just to, you know, we like hard rock. Yeah, what bands do you like? This was insane. This ladder match always seems like at the NXT level kind of mirrors what they do in Ring of Honor a little bit with the ladder war a little bit, where it kind of gets a little nutty, a little insane, and I think it's because the ropes are loosened a little bit in what they can do in this type of scenario. It was really rough. Lots of high flying, lots of moves off the ladder. This was better than either Money in the Bank match, I thought. And Street Profits getting a run with the NXT Tag Team titles off this as well. So for all the Street Profits fans out there, your boys are getting a run with the tag titles, and I think that it is long overdue, actually, and I'm looking forward to seeing them run through the summer with these belts. I think that they'll definitely be holding on to them and be building up something big, probably with one, if not all of these four teams, towards the end of, gosh, I don't know, August? Is that when all that SummerSlam stuff is? Yeah, middle of August in Toronto? That's right. Matchup I was looking forward to was the NXT North American Championship, Velveteen Dream versus the returning Tyler Breeze to NXT. And yeah, this was kind of cool. I think the initial idea was to get a star from the initial build-up days of NXT to come back into the fold, and I think Breeze kind of fits that mold very well, because don't forget, he had that huge match with Liger in Brooklyn. He was a building block with NXT for a long time, and I think both these guys put on maybe a sleeper match of the year candidate for coming out of the WWE circles. I don't think it would win a match of the year candidate, but or poll at this point, but it was a great match, great psychological storytelling. Velveteen Dream going after Breeze's cell phone and taking selfies and that stuff while Breeze is laid out on the desk. That was something, and so that was, indeed a great match. And of course, Velveteen Dream retaining the NXT North American Championship in that match. Again, great match from bell to bell. The NXT Women's title was on the line next as Shayna Baszler took on Io Shirai in a one-on-one contest. Baszler was the champion going into this and retained the belt as well. Got the win in 12-15. This was a great match just because Baszler looked vulnerable in this match, and I think she achieved almost another level of heeldom in this match just due to the fact that, again, she looked vulnerable and she looked like she was beatable as a champion. The Horsewomen came out to try to help Baszler in this match, and Candice LeRae came out with a kendo stick, or do we call it a candy stick in this scenario? No? Okay, whatever. Even after the match, Baszler got the win, but it was Io that flipped out and attacked Baszler first with a kendo stick and then with a chair after the match with a stunning kind of moonsault maneuver off of the top rope with a chair, almost harkening back to the ECW, FMW days of yore. So do we see a TLC match in the future? Do we see a Hardcore Rules match in the future between the two of them? I think it's very likely. And of course, the main event for the NXT Championship, Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano. We have a brand new NXT champion with Adam Cole, baby. He is the new NXT champion, of course. That's coming out of Bridgeport tonight and the NXT TakeOver 25. That match there, I like the one in Brooklyn a lot more, probably just due to the fact of it being on Mania weekend, being there live. I thought a better story was told with the 2 out of 3 falls stipulation, and just I guess the with the belt being vacant, who was indeed going to walk out with it. But hey, now the Undisputed Era has their champion with Adam Cole, and I think if anything, that may seem on the surface they might be more unified than ever, or you can start a scenario where there's infighting within the Undisputed Era, and don't forget, he's the only Undisputed Era guy that won on this card. Everybody else lost, so he's going to have all the stroke going forward in that faction. During the pre-show tonight, Tommaso Ciampa was a panelist during one of the segments and had stated that it didn't matter who it was, that he would be coming back for the belt. So I would assume that as soon as Ciampa gets the go-ahead, he's been cleared for non-contact physical activity. As soon as he gets cleared, obviously, for contact physical activity, he'll be back in the ring for sure. However long that will be will remain to be seen. So, ergo, we wait to see. But NXT heating up a bit. Also, it was very interesting that NXT was the first brand that WWE pushed after the AEW pay-per-view last weekend. They're leading with their strongest foot forward. I guess trying to reclaim a little bit of the crowd and the positive Twitter banter about their product. Because if there was a main roster pay-per-view this weekend, like if Super Showdown or something like that happened this weekend, I'm pretty sure, well, nobody is going to watch Super Showdown, but I'm pretty sure they're going to get, they would get crapped on a lot, like big time. So it was smart going with the NXT thing. I know it was just scheduling and whatever and happenstance, but it was smart. This was rather late in the game too, and for a weird location, I thought Bridgeport put on a excellent show house-wise, and hey, kudos to Bridgeport. So I'll give it, out of 10, a solid 8.5 out of 10. I thought the show was a great celebration of the past 25 shows that NXT has done under the Takeover banner on the WWE Network, and going forward, we'll have to wait and see about the next 25, and just the magnitude of stars that have passed through their gates on their way to WWE, right? So anyways, I'm Killer Nitro. Later days, happy wrestling watching, and thank you very much for 2 whole years on YouTube. That's right. This show comes on the 2nd anniversary of the channel's founding. We launched on June 1st, 2017, and of course we're changing the name to Nitromaniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited. Again, that's not to take anything away from the Pro Wrestling Unlimited guys. Their brand is way more established, and they could have way more followers and commenters, and I can only imagine. I just feel that this name rolls off the tongue a little bit more. It was the initial name for the channel until I decided to change it midstream to Nitromaniac TV's wrestling channel. And I'll have more about this in the coming days. I'm going to do a whole big to-do vlog and that stuff as part of the June vlog over the next week or so about this. But yeah, thanks for tuning in to Nitromaniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited. I'm Kellen Nitro. Later days. Happy wrestling watching.